We're back on the record this morning with State Senator Peter Durant. It was a few weeks ago that we talked to one of your colleagues, Republican Senator Kelly Dooner, about the MBTA Communities Act. And she wants to see more negotiating room for towns like Middleborough, for example, that have pushed back on the law that creates zoning districts for multifamily housing. Attorney General Andrea Campbell is enforcing the law, and communities that resist will face funding cuts. Is there room for compromise in here?
You know, there has to be, right? I think this is a flawed law that was put into place. What I personally would have liked to have seen is this should have been handled more like the way Charlie Baker handled the community compacts, right? Which is to say, we all understand that we need more housing in Massachusetts by a large amount. And so I believe that cities and towns have the right to decide how they want to grow, what they want to look like. That's a fundamental right of theirs and their sovereignty. But we should say, if you increase your housing by X, 10%, 15, whatever the number may be, we will give you Y.
As a parallel, do you support the state's massive investment in public transportation?
Well, if we go talk about the MBTA, I think it's necessary. I don't like spending that kind of money, but it's necessary, and I will give.
And we don't know about federal funds.
True.
At this point.
Right.
And I will give Phil Eng credit where credit is due. I think he's doing a good job. Before we start expanding, before we start going with East-West Rail or South Coast, before we start expanding, I think we need to get our house in order there, and then we can talk about where we go from that.
Republicans have rallied behind Auditor Diana DiZoglio's push to audit the legislature. Voters supported question 1 by a very wide margin, over 70%. But right now, the auditor is at odds with House and Senate leadership and the Attorney General. Is this helping, hurting the push for transparency? Where do you see this going?
Well, I think, first of all, I support that audit 100%. The people have voted. They voted overwhelmingly. And so I think that's something that has to take place. I do understand that there's going to be some legal questions. I know some constitutionalities come up about it. I know some questions of her impartialities come up. I think those things can be dealt with, but I think an audit is a good thing. Companies have audits every day. They make sure that they're doing things by the books.
The Senate leader and the House leader, the House Speaker, they say they do have audits all the time.
Well, and maybe they do, but I think we could still do a little bit better. And I think it's beneficial for an outside agency like the auditor. I mean, this is her job. It's in the title to go in and take a look at these books and see and make sure everything's up.
And you know what natural human reaction is. If you don't have anything to hide, what are you squawking about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I have one last question for you. Since you're thinking about running for governor, what's your timeline?
I'll know it when I see it. No, you know, but people say that. Look, here's the honest answer. We're looking at this. We're talking to people. At the end of the day, I have to answer a few questions to myself, and that is, do I think I'll make a good governor? I do. So I think we can pass that bar. Do I think I can win? Okay, I feel like there's a 50-50 shot right now today. Okay. Do you think that someone else is better at this? And that's what we're going to find out, too. If at the end of the day I say, and my wife says, and my supporters say...
In the next 6 months, maybe.
Oh, yeah. Well, within 6 months. Okay. But if we see somebody says, you know what, I feel like I'm the best person for this job, we're going to be 100% in, and we're going to do this every day of the week. But I will say, I don't have to be the leader. I don't have to be the governor. If we find somebody who I think this is the guy or girl, this is the person, I'm behind that person.
Senator, it's great to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
And happy almost St. Patrick's Day. Our thanks to Peter Durant for joining us this morning. Sunday Roundtable is next. Granite State earthquake with Jeanne Shaheen stepping down from the Senate. The floodgates are open. We'll talk about how big this race could get. Stay with us.